Actually, this one's not as good as I thought it was to begin with. I ended up with, a fairly large handful of plays, and there's a few things that kind of happen. I don't know, a fair amount of times. There's several blocking the back that we didn't get real well. All right, so Eric did share. If you go under the game footage, he shared their copy too. It's better than ours, so I'm just gonna run off that one. So we got a couple back to back here. And Cam, I talked to you about this one in the game. I need a better signal here, a little more. Yeah, be decisive. Do it. 23. I think there's. So before we go too much further here, there's I think three different black in the backs on kick or punt. Um, we've talked about this lots of times. Like that's a tough one. I mean, it's a hard play to officiate. So I think we got to get back to keys. Once a guy's chasing, once we're looking at the back of a jersey, that's when you got to be real sensitive to whatever type of contact gets made. This one isn't. It's not like egregious, okay? But I'm looking right here. So as he comes down, I, I don't think that's on the back, or sorry, I don't think that's on the shoulder, and it's not big contact. But he also puts him on the ground. So any contact when the guy's chasing, when he's not chest to chest, we got to be sensitive of that to flag that one. Skipping down quite a bit here now to 49. No, this one I'm not. I don't really think this one is a penalty, but just to go through, it's a decent camera angle to have at least the end of that to talk about OPI or DPI. I think this is probably a fine no call. Um, they're obviously both. They're both doing the thing, fighting for. What did I do there? Both doing the thing, fighting for position. Anybody puts him on the ground. I mean, he probably tangles. It, like I said, this isn't so much that I want a flag on the ground on this one. It's just some reminders about pass interference and what we're looking for when that ball's in the air. 56. Punt. This is a block in the back. Right there. He makes the tackle. But so here I think okay, so I think we're coming to Jake's side here. So I'd like Jake's eyes off of the returner, and Nick, once that ball is caught, you can start to get off of him a little bit too, and give a little bit more look around the area a bit more. This one's probably Jake. Nick would be able to help, but he puts his hands out. Maybe he doesn't touch. I assume he does, but it's possible he doesn't. So maybe you have a better look there. Ryan, I put this on here. I can't see. I assume that's right, but I assume your call was right. Obviously, he ends up in a pile, and you can see a white jersey underneath all that. So it's very likely a good call. I didn't really have it there to see it. The Sargent County one does have the end zone view, so that one's probably a little better. But it's tough to watch the sideline view from the Sargent County film. 68. This one was a bit of a no-brainer. So just remember for horse collars, um, the grab has to be at or around the shoulders nameplate area, and then bringing down to the side or the back. Like that. Okay, then the end of the half. So this was the like they didn't get set, and then we throw that flag, and there was only a few seconds left here. So this is more. We talked about this one at halftime, but just maybe a crew reminder. I mean, at the end of the day, it falls on me, but we should have an alert like, "Hey, Chris, ask him about the clock." So the offended team gets to decide. So if I could have made that announcement right away. I mean, I thought of it and did it, but it was obviously a couple beats late. So that would certainly help from like the team perspective. In the second half, there's just a few more. 80. I want 83. Okay, another block in the back. Same guy. Okay, it's 55 again. So this one, I mean, maybe side. What I would err on, if he's chasing him, he's got to do his part to get in front of that guy. If he's chasing and he makes contact, I think we flag. So anytime he's looking at back numbers. Okay, 91 is the play, so to speak. So just let it run. Live motion, it feels fairly obvious. Okay, and I'm still with this. I think this is one of those, like, if you're putting us in a spot, we're going to have to err on the safety side of things. So blindside block, the alert factors when somebody starts swimming the wrong direction. So in this case, if we have the plays going from our left to right on the screen here, if we have a blue jersey start to come back this direction, that's when we should perk up a little bit. That is one of those spots that we need to be alerted for. Once that happens, then you have to start thinking through the different scenarios. This is high probability for block in the back or a blindside block. And I mean, I think I said this on Friday too. If you're in the situation, if you're the one that can see, so like the Sargent County guy, I think it's 10. Yeah, so he can see. So I mean, the onus is on him now to take care of the guy who's allegedly defenseless. It's only about maybe 2 steps. And so this is where it gets a little sticky when we slow this one down a bit, where, I mean, he takes 2 steps and he starts to bring his hands up. So then you can start to understand where the defenseless part of this maybe needs to go away in this exact play, because it looks like he might have had time. Now that's with me slowing it down. On the fast one, I mean, it looks like he turns and all of a sudden gets hit. Forcible contact, I mean, this is probably just one that we're eventually just going to agree to disagree with. I mean, like Eric still says forcible, that this isn't forcible contact. Well, I mean, if it wasn't forcible, he would have had his hands out. That's a shoulder. So, I mean, I get it. He didn't plant him. I mean, he certainly could have. But I do think this hits, this kind of checks the boxes. It's and it's a bang bang call. And the safety ones, and even though he didn't wreck this guy, I'm okay with this one. And it's a spot that, I mean, we're not always going to agree all the time with everybody that we officiate for, and that's okay. When you move on, this is the one that was just a few plays later. 95 is when the punt happens, and this is another block in the back, or another at least real close to block in the back. I think it's the Sargent County long snapper. It's 80. Well, it's this guy that ends up just getting laid on here. Watching this back, there's a lot more laying on than I remember. So I know we talked to at least one kid, but that should be, I mean, they can lay on them, but they also can't lay on them indefinitely. So you got to allow the kid to get up at some point. This is another one when you slow down, you could maybe make the case he's got a shoulder. He's chasing him. He's out of position here. So, and now if you see that, like from here, it's going to be pretty hard for him to get in the right position. So, like just about any contact, I'm going to say is going to be in the back. Okay, so it's just the running, and he kind of starts to turn, and then we get shoulder really close. That's also one of those that I mean you can't hit that guy. So and I think if we err on tossing that one, I think that would be okay. Um, Jake, I think you said you thought you saw shoulders in the game, and I get it. I mean, maybe, um, but I would call this more back than front, I guess. And when he ends up on the ground, that makes it all the worse. And obviously we had some, tension in the air right at that moment. Anyway, but just remember, especially on the kick plays, the kick type plays, we need to um, really have some alerts for when guys get out of position, and then the times that we're going to have to throw flags, like when guys get out of position, the propensity for blocking the back and those types of safety related fouls get obviously go up quite a bit. That's what I had this week.